Hey guys, good evening. It is John C. Morley here, serial entrepreneur. Great to be with you on Inspirations for Your Life. Another great time, as it always is. Thank you so much for popping in to say hello to me. Our master topic of the week, in case you're wondering, is overcoming skepticism. As we're starting to wind this week down with just another 2 days to go. And we're on Series 4, by the way. Our granular topic for today or this evening is From Doubt to Discovery, Series 4, Show 18, Episode number 5. Hey, guys, but before we get the show started, you definitely know that later on, I hope you will check out BelieveMeAchieve.com for more of my amazing, inspiring creations. And if you guys are thirsty, like I just did, I went over to the kitchen. I got myself a decaf tea. Get yourself something hot, something cold, something sweet, something tart, maybe something healthy, whatever you want. Go grab that and come on back to the show so we can go ahead and get things rolling. All right, everyone. I am, of course, John C. Morley, serial entrepreneur. It is always such a privilege and pleasure to be with you here on the show. I'm not only a podcast host, but also a podcast coach, and it's great to be with you. Do you ever feel like your own mind is holding you back? That tiny voice whispering, "You're not ready. You're not good enough." Or, "What if you fail?" That's internal doubt doing its work. But here's the truth, guys. Every trailblazer, inventor, leader, and dreamer has felt those same whispers going on in their mind. The key difference is they didn't let those doubts define them. In today's episode of Inspirations for Your Life, I'm going to dive deep again into the mindset this time and the methods to shift from doubt to discovery. Whether you're trying to launch a new idea, embrace a life change, or perhaps simply grow your best self, this episode is your personal roadmap to empowerment. Let's turn down the volume on doubt and turn up the clarity of your inner voice. All right, let's kick it off. Everybody ready? All right. Number one, overcoming internal doubt. I think this scares a lot of people because when they get doubt, they don't know like what to do with it, right? This is probably the biggest problem. So, internal doubt often shows up disguised as logic. It tells you to wait until you're ready or play it safe. But here's the actual reality. Doubt isn't rooted in truth. Let me say that again. Doubt isn't rooted in truth. It's rooted in fear. Overcoming it begins with recognizing when you're operating from a place of fear rather than fact. When you catch yourself hesitating, ask, is this doubt or discernment? Then challenge the belief behind that doubt. Many of our limitations are inherited, they're not actual. Real growth happens when you choose to move despite not feeling 100% confident. Confidence, after all, is a result, not a prerequisite, of taking action. Now, choose progress over perfection. I've always said this before. It's better to have something that is started than something that is perfectly done. All right. You can always tweak it. Number two, shifting mindset to curiosity. When you stop fearing mistakes and start embracing the unknown with curiosity, everything changes. Curiosity removes pressure by reframing your journey as an exploration, not an exam. Instead of seeing life as a pass or fail test, you begin to ask questions like, well, my tea is nice and hot. So, no, it isn't hot. It is hot. What can I learn from this? Or what's behind this reaction? Shifting to a frame that is a curious mindset opens your world to possibilities instead of shutting them out. You never saw this before because you were never open to it before. It also keeps you humble and open, which leads to more genuine connections and insights. Think of curiosity as a compass. It doesn't always give you the destination, but it keeps you moving toward discovery. Number three, the role of small steps in big discoveries. Big breakthroughs often have tiny beginnings. It's easy to romanticize success as sudden and spectacular, but in truth, every major discovery is built on dozens or even hundreds of small, consistent actions. The key is momentum, not magnitude. When you commit to just one small action each day, The compounding effect over weeks and months is transformational. It's like 10 times. Start with the smallest possible action, 5 minutes of journaling, one bold conversation, or one email sent. Don't underestimate the ripple effect of small steps. When you look back, those little steps will reveal the path to something truly big. Number 4, power of asking the right questions. We've talked about questions before, but now we're talking about it in a different context. And the context we're talking about it today, I think, is pretty cool. It's in regard to doubt to discovery. Your questions shape your focus, and your focus shapes your outcomes. Let me say that again. Your questions shape your focus, and your focus shapes your outcome. If you're asking disempowering questions like, why can't I ever get this right? Why can't I ever get a date that likes me? Or what's wrong with me? Or why can't I ever figure this out? You're going to train your brain to search for confirming evidence to prove that hypotheses. But when you ask better questions like, what can I learn from this? How can I turn this into an opportunity? You activate a problem solving mindset, one you probably haven't used before. Great thinkers, like many of the wise inventors that we've known that have gone before our time, and innovators, know that the answers you receive are only as good as the questions you ask. So we have to start asking better questions. Make your question specific, empowering, and aligned with your goals. Because when you ask better, you live better. Number 5, guys, tools to break through fear. What's fear? False evidence appearing real. Fear is real, but so are your tools, right? But is fear really real? Well, it feels real, so that's real to us, even though it is false evidence appearing real, but you could, really confuse yourself with it. The mistake many people make is thinking they need to eliminate fear before taking action. Not true. You see, you need to understand it, listen to it, and then lead it. Tools like deep breathing, grounding exercises, journaling your thoughts, or visualizing success can create enough space between you and your fear to take a step forward. Sometimes the most effective tool is simply naming the fear out loud. Once it's exposed, it loses power. Another powerful technique is reframing the fear. Instead of what if I fail, try what if this works. Equip yourself with tools not to avoid fear, but to walk through it. Empowered. Number 6, guys, turning uncertainty into growth. Uncertainty is often viewed as a threat, but it's actually fertile ground for growth. In uncertain moments, you're invited to stretch, reevaluate, and reinvent. Think of uncertainty like a wild garden, messy, unpredictable, but brimming with lots of potential. The challenge is learning to stay grounded without needing every answer right now. Start by embracing the idea that not knowing doesn't mean you're lost. It means you're exploring. Growth thrives when you're willing to get uncomfortable. I've said this before, right? All the good stuff, all the learning happens when we're uncomfortable. So that's an important thing. Stay curious and trust your ability to adapt. Lean into uncertainty with the knowledge that it's open and often the birthplace of your greatest personal evolution. That's cool. Number 7, reframing failure as feedback. Failure stings, but it's one of your greatest teachers. When you learn to reframe failure as feedback, you liberate yourself from shame and move toward mastering. Every failure, every failure contains data, clues about what worked, what didn't, and what to tweak next. Instead of asking, what did I do wrong? Ask, what information did I gain? This subtle shift helps remove ego and injects curiosity into the process. Remember, the world's most successful people aren't the ones who never failed. They're the ones who failed fast. Learn quickly and try it again smarter. Feedback fuels success when you stop fearing it. All right? Feedback fuels success when you stop fearing it. Number 8, staying focused on your why. So your why, ladies and gentlemen, is your inner GPS. It guides you when the road gets dark or confusing. It's the reason behind your action, your persistence, and your passion. But here's the thing: your why needs nurturing. Write it down, reflect on it, revisit it. When you feel lost, a clear why makes every decision easier because it gives you context. Are you building a business to support your family? Growing your mindset to inspire others? Chasing a dream that aligns with your purpose? Whatever your why is, anchor it into something strong and solid. Because when your motivation runs low, your purpose will carry you through. Okay. Now, I know thinking about all this stuff sounds like something that is like so hard. It's not hard, all right? Um it's just you have to understand it. And I think a lot of people don't know what that means. They don't know what it means to be successful. They think they know, okay? But they don't know. And I think sometimes people just like get lost. I think sometimes we want something, but we just don't know what we want until we've explored. Okay. And I think if you understand that you have so much potential in your life, right? And that potential can take you to an entirely different level, a very big level in life. But some people, believe it or not, they've given up before they've even started. Why? I don't know. Maybe they've gotten tired with trying and then not seeing any results. That could be possible. Maybe they just don't believe in anything anymore. So this is the part of the show where I give you basically a personal story for each point that I have shared tonight. And the reason I do this is because I want these ideas to stick in your head. I don't want them to be something that you think about today and then never think about again. Do you know what I mean? I think that's an important point, right? Does that make sense, guys? I hope it does. And so maybe this is confusing. Maybe. But then again, maybe you're just scared. Maybe something happened in your life and now you're afraid to try something new. You see, I said to you that it's sometimes hard because we have to practice getting comfortable being uncomfortable, right? The uncomfortable, guys, is where that's where all the good stuff happens. But we can't get there until we get comfortable being uncomfortable. And when we're comfortable and we're uncomfortable, we got to make ourselves a little more uncomfortable because we want to keep learning. We don't want to stay comfortable, right? We want to push the envelope a little bit further. Number one, I learned that doubt isn't the truth, it's just noise. For years, I let doubt decide what could or couldn't be. I'd overthink every move, convincing myself I wasn't ready, and watch the opportunities just pass by me or sift through my hands like quicksand. But eventually, I realized doubt was never rooted in fact. It was just fear in disguise that paralyzed me for no reason. The moment I started acting despite the fear, things started to shift. I didn't become fearless overnight, I became braver. And that made all the difference in my world and my path of success. Number two, curiosity changed my entire outlook on life. I used to dream making mistakes and seeing them and dread this because I saw them as failures. Then I flipped the script and started approaching life with curiosity instead of judgment. Suddenly, guys, suddenly, everything became an experiment for me, not a test I had to pass. That change in mindset gave me space to breathe, to learn, and to grow without pressure. Curiosity taught me that not knowing is just the start of discovering something new. Number three, small actions built my big wins. I always thought success required huge dramatic moves until I started committing to small daily steps. Just 5 minutes here, one email there, a single uncomfortable conversation here. And over time, these little efforts stacked up. Looking back at them now, I can trace every breakthrough to a moment that felt almost insignificant at the time. Now, I know it's not about giant leaps, it's about showing up consistently. I know so many people that want to do well in businesses. You know what? Well, where's your major leap? I didn't have any major leaps. I had things that changed me based on my feelings, based on my thoughts. And I think that's something that a lot of people don't get. I think that's hard for a lot of people. And that might be hard for some people to realize because they don't understand like why suddenly they don't make a change in their life. And the reason they don't make the change is for one reason. I'll tell you why. It's because of a mindset. It's because of a mindset. And that mindset is something that I feel is huge. A mindset can make such a big difference. And when you see this, you're able to understand that just your perception makes the difference. Okay? Your perception makes a difference. That's big, guys. Very, very big. But I know that a lot of you out there are saying to me, John, well, you don't understand my situation. I don't have to understand your situation. I don't even need to know what you're trying to do. All I need to know is that you're going to give this a go in life. You're going to say that I can make this happen. And I know what you're saying. You're saying, well, John, why do I want to make it happen? Well, the question is, why do you want to be successful? Let's ask that stupid question, right? Well, it's not stupid. Why do you want to be successful? I think you want to be successful because you want to make a change in your life. You want to have freedom, lots of freedom, right? So when you do something, there are always going to be these naysayers around. I mean, that's just going to happen. There's not much I can tell you about that. And you're going to have to deal with that. But I would tell you, don't waste your time with people that don't support you. Does that make sense? I know that you understand. And when you think about the fact that you can make a difference in your life, that's when you realize change is possible. Now, I said possible, right? Possible comes because of something you believe in. Okay. And if that's something that you want, I think you'll do more research to figure out how to get it. But people that get frustrated and they try once and then they can't do something, they wonder why something is a certain way, right? They wonder that. And that wonder happens for many, many, many different reasons. And I know what you're saying, guys. I know you're saying that I've done this before, but for some reason I can't do it now. Well, it's not a question of you doing it now. It's a question of you believing you can do it now. Because, see, once you shut yourself down, once you said, I can't do this anymore, you know what happens? Your body's like, okay, can't do it anymore. Right? Can't do it anymore. And then you're like, well, I don't know what I'm supposed to do, or I don't get what I'm doing. And then your whole body just kind of shuts down. Does that make sense, everybody? Your whole body shuts down because now it's like you're going against yourself. That's pretty hefty. So we're going to get questions from our mind. I'm going to have another cup of tea. Another sip here. We're going to get those fears of doubt. They're going to pop up. There's not much I can tell you about that. And when they pop up, realize that you can overcome them. And maybe you're not going to get where you want to be. And I'll tell you that you can get where you want to be if you can feel where you want to be. You can get where you want to be if you can feel where you want to be. And I think that if we start to believe things, if we start to realize that our world is a difference, then other people are going to see that same thing. They're going to see the ability to make the difference in their own lives. But if you can't see the difference right now, then that tells me that you don't have a vision. And so, how do you get a vision? Very easy. You got to feel where you want to be. So I didn't say just say it. I said feel it. We have to manifest first. We have to feel first and manifest second. Okay? Feel it first and manifest second. And I think that's a very important thing, because if we do feel things first, then our body becomes in alignment. Our body becomes in alignment. And when we're in alignment, you know what happens? Things start to manifest in our lives. Things start to manifest in our lives. And I think that's something a lot of people have a hard time with. And I think it's because they've been doing things in the past for so long, and they just don't think there's a way to make a change. They don't think that what they're doing is actually going to change anything. Remember what I said before? If you believe that, guys, guess what? Then that's exactly right. Henry Ford said something a long time ago. If we believe we can't, we're right. And if we believe we can, we are also right, my friends. That's powerful. So why don't people wake up? They get lazy. And the reason they get lazy is because they're frustrated. And they get frustrated because they don't know what to do next. And they don't know what to do next because they're just like constantly second guessing themselves. So if your whole life is about second guessing yourselves, I'm going to tell you something. You're never going to go any further. You're never going to go any further. And if you understand that right now, then I feel that you can make a big change in your life. But again, it's not going to happen overnight. Belief starts to make a change inside your mind and your body. And then your brain and your body start to look for things to validate that. You're constantly putting yourself down. Your body's like, okay, yep, I found a reason. Yep, that's why I'm no good at that. Yep, and that's done that. And this is just proving it right out. You don't want to do that. You don't want to do that. Because if you do that, you are gonna have a really hard time getting back to doing the things that you want to do in your life because you treated yourself badly. We have to be our own best friend. All right? Our own best friend. That's key, guys. Our own best friend. That's pretty amazing, right? So if we're our own best friend, then maybe we can understand why things are a certain way, right? Or maybe why they're not. And that could be something that you experience today or something you experience maybe tomorrow. Maybe. I hope you found this episode useful. I am John C. Morley, serial entrepreneur. Do check out believemeachieve.com for more of my amazing, inspiring creations, guys. And I'll catch you guys on another show real soon. Hope you have a great rest of your evening. Be well, everyone.